Alright, let's see if I can make a workaround for this, definitive workaround for the Stargate hum buzz. So here it is, in all its glory. Alright, of course it's got station ambience with it too. So the way to get rid of it is simply, and you can't, it won't work if you just simply, oh, it won't work if you simply log off, because it's still there. You gotta actually hard restart, which is ridiculous. So
connecting.
But somebody did, I forget who, somebody did point out that on the forums, turning off and then on the audio options deals with it. So click that, click this. Of course, we go back and you can't hear anything. Now I don't believe, I'm pretty sure that going to here is kind of a session change.
Connecting.
So when we go back in, we'll hear the station sounds. Okay. Now, there are other bugs that get triggered when this bug occurs. I haven't been able to repro it, but there are other bugs that don't get fixed by that. And I'm going to attempt to show you what those bugs are. So I'm going to jump into Sharia.
Drive active.
Okay, hear the afterburner? Or the warp drive or whatever. That's engine sound. Okay. Alright. That's, I forget if it's, I think it's ship ambience. Now this is ship effects. Wait for it. The cloaking when you enter a system. Okay, hear that really annoying sound? It also happens when you decloak. Observe. That's really loud. Okay. So I unfortunately don't have a prop mod, so I can't. But basically, what's happened is when the bug triggers and you get the Stargate hum, you will also get this is where all the sliders will be completely ignored, and it's like you have everything at maximum. Okay, so I'm going to just fiddle with these two, just a tiny bit. You just need to go either way and just fiddle with it, and you'll fix it, and you'll hear. Now let's go to. You'll hear.
Warp drive active.
See, it's much less. Yeah. So you fix the Stargate hum by turning off and on the audio, and then you have to slide. Now, I'm not sure if you can simply slide this and it'll fix everything. I haven't tried that yet. That could be a simple, easy fix, but I suspect the bug is in here somewhere where Team Clang added a whole bunch and then CCP removed a whole bunch because you're not using it. And it's like, Jesus, can you give us like 10 years before we figure out how to use the system? Because, nobody talks about this. There's no help on, it's just, they don't do documentation, and they blame us for not documenting and distributing the actual information to the community, and and then they don't even fix the problem. I think they heard about the problem right after, because the complaints started happening right after Team Clan came on, and I think what they did to deal with the problem was just rip out as much code as possible, because they love doing that. So now this is customs office, and it has an audio effect. The ship. This. You'll hear it. It's kind of like a plane going by with a doppler effect. See that? Okay, I did a lot of POCO stuff back in the day, and I first noted this audio bug, not the Stargate thing, the hum, but that sound, because it's a intermittent sound, whereas the Stargate hum was white noise. Comparatively, it's hard to detect white noise because it's just see that, and I would hear it even when I was docked, when I was a login screen, and it followed me all around just like the Stargate hum. So it's not just the Stargate hum. There are other things that trigger this bug, and I'm assuming when you hear the POCO sounds, the side effects are also that it's considered deployable for some reason, this sound, and the other sounds are ignoring the sliders. So I think this is a systemic thing. So yeah, if you, I've turned this off. If you've got the hum and you switch clients or go to a browser or something, and it's not the active client, it will not mute if you uncheck this. It's bizarre. You don't fix it by muting that. It's just, you just won't hear it when you go to some other browser. But when you uncheck it, you actually hear the hum or the extrapolating this annoying sound. It's fun sound, but if it follows you all over, it's not very immersion breaking. So yeah, I wanted to show you guys that. Just explain the ins and outs of it. Hopefully I've done enough explaining to be comprehensive enough that you don't have to, root through all my videos to figure out the different permutations of this. So that's what I found out. I haven't been able to repro it yet. Next time I do a slow burn to JITA with a DST the long way,
Docking permission requested.
I'll definitely want to test the slider every time I'm in warp to confirm whether or not I've gotten the bug yet, because it's really hard to tell sometimes, because after a while, everything, when you're focusing so much on all the sounds, everything starts to sound loud, and it's really difficult to pick out. So I'll just test the slider each time, and hopefully that way I can say something was caused then. And if I can have enough of these videos over enough, it'll take years, of course, but this has been going on since 2012. So I think nobody gives a shit about this, because it's just, people just play the game, and it's just a game. And most people don't really care about immersion very much. Yeah. And why? They just don't have the time, or they're not inquisitive enough, or maybe they just don't like to rock the boat. I mean, I rock a lot of boats. It's just my nature, and maybe people like me are very rare that look into the mechanics. I don't know. I just figure I wanted to look into it because I don't think many people do, and when they do, it's on the superficial level, and then the community accepts it, and we move on. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm the only person going to be looking at this long term, because you look at the forums and people say, "Oh, I submitted a bug report," and the devs are like, "Well, get right on that," and they never do. So yeah, and I mean, if I can't repro it, if I look at this stuff and notice stuff daily, so if I can't notice how to repro this, then I doubt CCP can, because I have zero confidence in their ability to immerse themselves in the game. So if I can't repro it, there's no way they can figure out how to repro it. And I am damn sure their bug hunters have no idea, because if they do this, not full time, but if they do this on a dedicated basis, supposedly, then they would have found it in 10 years by now. It's almost 10 years anniversary of Team Clan. So I have zero confidence in their bug hunters department, because I think their bug hunters department is just an easy way to get free time, and they'd be like, yes boss, everything works great, and they just, use the free time. And I freaking don't know. You got to imagine being in that department, and imagine working at CCP, or volunteering for CCP, and if you bring in a problem to light, you become the problem. I think that's exactly the problem with CCP. If you bring an issue to light, like the jester or something, they will treat you like the jester, and you're a source of ridicule, not, performing a function at court, But yeah. Yes, worship the emperor with no clothes. So yeah, I think that's it. I'll just document it, and hopefully in a few years, I'll eventually be able to go, I'm starting to notice some similarities in the videos I'm taking and when it occurs. When I do the slider to 100, there's the hum. I'm going, something happened back there in that last system. Or when I was jumping, or when I was starting to warp to the next gate. Something happened at a particular time, like either during the transit, just before the transit, just after the transit, maybe a sound effect that happened when I was jumping, like a in-gate sound or an out-gate sound, or something. It's considered deployable. I don't think that's a good way of going at it. I don't think looking for a deployable is going to help us discover this. I think it just randomly picked deployables as just a hook for the bug, and it might not even be the hook for the trigger of the bug. It could be just this trigger of just a hook for the symptom of the bug. Yeah, I know, right? So it's like trying to reverse engineer this is way beyond my pay grade. All I can do is hope that I see a pattern where there is none, or where other people don't see it, the pattern, right? Because if there's no pattern, it's accepted that there's no pattern, but what if there's a pattern there? What if there's a connection? And hopefully it'll trigger something in the back of my brain when I'm doing this stuff. Because yeah, it's boring going to Gia. Might as well make it fun, a little mini game on the way to Jita.